going on YouTube? Prisco here, coming at you with another deck profile. So it's about time that I gave my take on Phantom Knights. I played this deck before in the past. You guys might have watched those videos. PK, Time Thief, the 6-card PK pile from, months ago. They're very old deck profiles. And I gotta say, I've been taking this deck to locals, and I am loving it. There's a couple of different things that I've been trying. The list that I took to my Remote Duel Locals that I host every Thursday, thanks to Imperial Gaming. Yes, those are back, by the way. I got 3rd place, but it was a very weird tournament. It was very small, so I don't really count that as being like too indicative of how the deck can perform. But then I took it to an IRL Locals at Coliseum of Comics in Kissimmee, Florida, and I got 10th place with a record of 3-2. Still little things here and there that I want to try out and test. So after my testing recently, I do think that what I'm going with right now, which you guys will see in just a moment, is good. I don't think it's like the ideal version, but it does cater to how I like to play the deck, and I think it's very strong. It's a very strong contender going forward, especially with the Brave stuff coming out very soon. So yeah, without further ado, I think we can go ahead and switch on over. Alright, so as always, I have the deck here in front of me, fully built and ready to go. We are not going to waste too much of your time. We'll go ahead and get right into the main deck. So for some of this, it might be pretty self-explanatory if you're already somewhat familiar with how Phantom Knights play. So the standard package of 3 Torn Scales. Ever since this card came out, it really like took Phantom Knights to another level. So this card is absolutely amazing. So essentially, if you don't know what they do, I will explain just quickly. Normal summon, and then you can use the effect to discard a card from hand and send any Phantom Knights from the deck to the graveyard. So it's pretty good. It's pretty good. And then for the best extender in the deck, if you open another Phantom Knight's name, Silent Boots, you need 3 of this. That's like no questions asked. He special summons himself to the field if you control a Phantom Knights monster, and on top of that, he can search you your Fogblade or your Shade Brigandine. 2 Ancient Cloak. This one I decided to play 2 of, and I just think it's correct. Actually, I'm pretty sure like most of the Phantom Knights community will agree with me that this is probably correct. 2 Ancient Cloak is really good, especially because you don't really want to open this too much because it can't special summon itself out, but you really want to like send this off of like Torn Scales, or discard it off of Torn Scales if you happen to open it. Essentially, you want this in grave at the same time as Torn Scales, because then you can use this to either banish itself and then search yourself a Boots, which will trigger Torn Scales effect in grave to summon himself, and then you can special summon this. Or if you've already used the Boots effect to special summon itself, then you can search your Stained Greave, which is the next card I was going to show anyway, and then Stained Greave's effect in hand will trigger itself to summon itself. Then you can choose to increase its level if you want. You don't have to. At that point, I probably wouldn't. So there's that. But yeah, 1 Stained Greaves. I don't think you need any more than that. And then the final Phantom Knight card that we're playing is the 1 Ragged Gloves. Again, don't really need more. Now, we are still playing the Tour Guide. I'm not playing any of the Time Thief stuff in this deck other than 1 Redoer, which you'll see. Tour Guide by itself is a 1-card combo. Doesn't require you to have any extenders in hand, although having them is nice. Whereas this kind of requires you to have a card in hand to discard, but it's still essentially the same, going from 1-card combo to 1.5 card combo. So, pretty good. And then to go along with the Tour Guide, we are playing the 2 Kagamuchi Knight. I think that this card's just really good right now, because even if you don't have it with Tour Guide, you can, normal summon Gloves, normal summon Greaves, normal summon Cloak, Boots, Torn Scales, whatever level 3 you happen to have, as long as it's not a BA, then you can essentially get full combo. And then speaking of the BAs, we are playing the 1 Seer, 1 Graph, You really don't want to open these in hand, but if you open them, it's not the end of the world as long as you have a way to get to Torn Scales, because Torn Scales discards. So it gets them out of the hand if you are in a pinch. Also, you don't play Libic. I tried playing Libic, it ended up being a brick. Just don't play Libic. 2 extenders here. 1 Psychic Tracker and Psychic Wielder. Psychic Wielder, Psychic Tracker. I was playing Ghost Ogre to go with the E-Tele package, but I wanted to make some room for some other things. And Ghost Ogre was the only, like, notable cut. It comes up once in a while, but it's not necessary, I should say. So, yeah, it's a pretty good card. I like it a lot. I think that these are pretty good cards. I think that they're very good extenders. You can play more than one each if you really want, but then if you open multiple, then the other one ends up just being a brick. And then we are playing the DPE and the Scythe lock package. So Scythe and then the Celestial and Dasher. Pretty self-explanatory. And then going into the spells to kind of wrap up, we have the Fusion Destiny, which goes with the Celestial and the Dasher. These cards are just nuts. DPE is insane. Being able to Scythe lock your opponent is insane. Yeah. And now here's something that I don't see a lot of people playing. Pot of Prosperity. I really like this right now to really dig for like side deck cards, essentially. Or starters if you happen to just like brick, but you open this. You can dig 6 deep if you really want. And it locks you out of drawing, which the only time you're really drawing is like turn 3 with Celestial. So like it doesn't really conflict too much. Now the only time it would conflict is if you go Celestial draw into like 2 Pot of Prosperity. Then at that point, I mean, you might have won already anyway with the amount of advantage your deck is going to gain you, and how everything essentially in Grave is just a second deck. So I really like this. This is something that I've been testing here and there. I constantly take it in and out. Right now, I think that this is just really good. And then for the rest of the spells, we are playing the 3 Forbidden Chalice. This card's just really, really good this format, being able to essentially just imperm your opponent's stuff on your own turn going second. Comes up quite a lot. 2 E-Tele, because it's at 2. This was at 3. It'd be insane. 2 Triple Tactics Talent. Again, I wanted to play some cards just to make sure that I don't completely die going first. Or, I'm sorry, going second. But, not gonna lie, I have considered taking this out and just like throwing in something else, whether it be Dark Road or Lightning Storms or what have you. I really think that as much as I like this card, it doesn't come up that often, and I don't want to play a third one to maybe see it, because then it just becomes bricky. So this is something that I'm kind of playing with. I don't know if I like it or not. And then for the one-of spells, 1 Rhoda, 1 Foolish Burial, and 1 Called by the Grave. These are pretty self-explanatory. For the traps, I am playing only 2 Fogblade because I only own 2, so there should be a third one here. And no, I'm not playing a common or an ultra. I need a secret rare. I need matching rarities. I'm a rarity whore. This doesn't have to be max rarity, but they need to be matching rarities. So there's that. Yes. Should be 3. And then the 1 Shade and 1 Wing. Notable thing, I was playing Sword for a little bit and trying it out, simply just to boost up the Appaloosa, but it doesn't come up often enough for me to do that. So my daughter just woke up, so we're gonna leave that in the video because it's kind of funny. I don't like Sword right now, and big shout out to my boy Ben for kind of showing me the way, essentially. Sword is good to like boost the Appaloosa and give it another negate, which is fine in a nutshell, but at the same time, Wing not being a continuous means that if you do happen to open it and need to set it, then you can use it on the field, and then it goes to Grave, which means that you immediately have access to the banish effect. So you can't do that with this unless it gets popped, because it's a continuous trap. So I decided to switch the Sword out to put the Wing back in. So that's it for the main deck. Into the extra deck, and here's where things pretty much become very streamlined. We're playing the 2 Break Sword, one Levier. I had room for one rank 4. Obviously, it had to be my boy Redoer. I don't want to play Downard. I don't want to play Nightmare. Redoer is just really good in a lot of matchups. It covers a lot of bases. Making this with a Shade Brigadine, obviously having that non-targeting bounce is really strong. Being able to snipe your opponent's one-ofs with his standby effect is extremely strong, especially if you're going in like the mirror and you steal their Celestial, or if you're going and you know, playing against Sky Striker, you steal their spells and you get +1s off of it constantly. Redoer is a really strong, really annoying rank 4 for people to deal with, and obviously, like my channel, my logo was literally Redoer, so obviously I'm gonna play my boy. And then the final Xyz is the one Zeus. For the one Fusion, obviously DPE, pretty strong, really good. Play Dragoon if you don't like it. I really think that this card is just insane. For the links, we are playing the one Link Spider, one Cherubini, one Artifact Dagda, one Predaplant Verde Anaconda, and then one Nightmare Phoenix. That's for the low links. And then for the higher links, one Nightmare Unicorn, one Rusty Bardich, one Access Code Talker, and then finally, to wrap it all up, one Appaloosa. The amount of times where making the Access Code Talker comes up and just like being able to pop your opponent's entire board is insane, especially because you have a lot of attributes in the extra deck. So going into turn 3, if your opponent had interruptions for you, it's pretty good, because I think yesterday I was playing against a Pendulum player and I had locked him out of the extra deck, but he was able to set up like 5 monsters with really high defense stats. And so essentially what I was able to do was Link Climb, going into Phoenix first, summon another monster, Link Climb into Unicorn, use Unicorn to bounce a card to the deck, and then Link into Access Code Talker. And I had Link Spider, Nightmare Phoenix, Nightmare Unicorn, Artifact Dagda, and I think that was it in the graveyard. So this plus these was essentially just 5, you know, spot removals. So I went Access Code, Banish, Access Code, Banish, Access Code, Banish, Access Code, Banish, attack for game, and he literally couldn't do anything. So it was really nice. Access Code is very strong, so if you have the option to play it, I suggest that you do. The side deck is where things start to get a little weird. Now, Ben, you know, the guy who kind of helped me work everything out with this deck, big shout out to you. I took your advice and I changed the side deck. So I used to play a lot of 2-ofs, and I'll explain in a minute exactly what I mean. But I decided to change some things, and it's been working out a lot better for me. So one Pankratops, one Lancia. Spot removal, and Lancia, because we're playing the Dagda package, if we really just need to get to a Lancia, we can just set it to the field with Dagda. And then I was at first playing 2 Droll and Lockbird. And I decided to take out some cards and put the third one in. So there's that. And I was playing Token Collector and Cycle Reader. And let me tell you, she fell back asleep, by the way, which is really funny. Let me tell you, the Token Collector and the Cycle Reader did not come up whatsoever. Like, Cycle Reader being a level 3 is pretty nice, don't get me wrong, but yeah, and Token Collector, as good as it is, I think it'll be really good next format. Right now, I don't think it needs to be played, especially because PK has a really good Solar Soul matchup. So there's that. I decided to take out the 2 Token Collector and the 2 Cycle Reader, put in the third Droll, and then 3 Nibiru. Because our worst matchup, I would say, is, or PK's worst matchup, I would say, is the Bird deck right now. And even though Nibiru doesn't exactly stop them, it does prevent them from getting to their F0, which makes their end board a lot easier to deal with if they opened really good, or they end their turn if they opened really bad. So Nibiru, I think, is just really good right now. I would play it if I was you. 2 Lightning Storm. I'm still playing 2 Lightning Storm because I'm still, you know, on the 1 Harpy's Feather Duster. I think that this is still fine. If you want the 3rd Lightning Storm, go for it. I was playing 2 Lightning Storm, 2 Twin Twisters, plus the Harpies. And then I was also playing 2 Dark Ruler No More, but every time I sighted it in, I didn't see it at all. So I needed to play the 3rd just so that I can be able to see it. And then I also added the Pot of Prosperity to dig for it. And then the final card is the Imperial Order, which is pretty self-explanatory. So that is pretty much it for the deck profile. If you guys want to see a combo, I will do that in the next one. But until then, I really hope that you enjoyed today's video. If you want to see someone who was a big inspiration for me to start playing PK and build this deck again, make sure you go check out my boy July TCG. I will link his channel down in the description below. Also, while you're down there, go ahead and check out my Linktree, which will have all of my socials, all of my sponsors, and all of my partners. All their links will be there as well. On top of that, make sure you join the Discord. Link is also in the bio, description, Linktree, everywhere. The Discord link is everywhere. Join the Discord and play in my Remote Duel Locals that I host for Imperial Gaming and Collectibles every Thursday at 7:30 p.m. EST. And if you happen to live in the Florida area, I'm now going to IRL Locals. So every Sunday, I will be going to Coliseum of Comics. So if you live in the like Orlando area, go check me out there. And every Tuesday, I will be going to Cool Stuff Inc. To go play in their locals. So with that being said, I'll see you in the next one. And deuces. Love you all. Peace.